Tennie McCarty. I'm the founder and one of the owners of Shades of Hope. And Intervention had asked us if we would take a client, and that's when we agreed to take Terri. And one of the primary reasons that that I agreed to take Terri is because one of the things is she's young. She had an eating disorder at one time in her life. She had been a chubby child. Then she went from being an overweight child to being an anorexic, got into modeling, and that contributed a lot to her eating disorder. And then she gave up the anorexia and began to overeat again. And she ate herself up to over 300 pounds. And she was about to lose her modeling career. She did start modeling, the plus-size modeling, but she was losing her career. And so she decided to have the intestinal bypass surgery. And what happened with Terri happens historically. We have seen this with people that have had the surgery. Terri did not have a history of drinking, but after the surgery, she was at dinner one night on her deck at her own home with friends, and she reached out for a glass of wine. And from that point on, she is one of those that became what we call an instant alcoholic. Alcohol did for her what the food did for her. What she wasn't getting from the food because of having the surgery, she couldn't eat the volumes of food that she had eaten before. So she started with wine, and her alcoholism progressed rapidly. She started with the wine and then went to the vodka and became a very chronic alcoholic in a short period of time, to the point that she couldn't work. She was back in her parents' home, and her sister, the family, made a decision to call Interventions, which they did. And Terri had been in other treatment centers. I believe she'd been in 8 treatment centers. She came with pretty much a reputation that she couldn't do treatment. So, but we agreed to take her. Primarily, the motive behind us agreeing to take her is because one thing is because she has a 9-year-old son that was losing his mother. And we wanted somehow to make an intervention into that young woman's life, and because she had an eating disorder, had the bypass, and then it went to alcoholism. And this is how clients switch addictions from one addiction to the other. When she first got here, when she was in detox, she was very when I went to interview her the first time in detox, she looked like a very old woman. I really thought she was probably in her 60s. Now, I had read her psychosocial, but she looked 55, 60 years of age. And she came in, and as she began to clear up from the results of the alcoholism, she started to work. She gave herself to this program. She worked diligently. She did everything that the treatment team asked her to do. And then during her family week, I've never had a family that I've worked with that I believe that have been more involved in family week and more gracious and more receptive. And so it was a real pleasure to work with Terri's mom and dad. We recommended that they get some of their own help because the family is as affected as the addict is. So Terri has been very successful in treatment. We did recommend because of her. Terri has a body chemistry that is a very, very high tolerance for alcohol with her body chemistry for the food and then the alcohol, what we have recommended, which we would recommend to other clients that with this severity. She has really taken the diseases to real lows, and what we recommended is long-term treatment. She really needs to be in a halfway house for a year where she can begin to get strong and develop her self-esteem again, and to be able to work and become self-supporting through her own contributions. We're very proud of what Terri has done, have a lot of belief in her, but the road ahead, the journey is just one day at a time. The journey is not over, but I do have a lot of hope for Terri, and I have a lot of hope that she can be back with her son and help parent her son in a way that she really wants to. She loves and adores her son, and so I believe that she will be a productive member of society and a healthy parent.